I have a draft idea. Oh, yeah, my bad. I saw this one earlier. How about we trade down and pick up a second, take Horn in the first, and left tackle and edge in the second in depth in later rounds? It's clever. It seems like you're trading down, getting more assets, hitting the weaknesses. I don't see a quarterback in there, but honestly, I wouldn't force the quarterback pick in 2020 because Rosen's on the team. I'm not saying just ignore it, but I wouldn't force it. I wouldn't force it. If Kellerman is available with the second round pick, I'd be interested in that. If Trask is available with the second round pick, I'd be interested in that. I wouldn't trade up for a guy though. I wouldn't.
If the plan ends up being Jimmy and a rookie and they don't look at anybody that they can get, let's say, because I think we all agree Fields, Wilson, Lawrence are kind of out of question without a drastic trade up, right? We can agree on that. So if they don't look at Lance and love him, or they don't look at Jones or Trask or any of these guys and love him, then they do have a really, really young prospect who's more talented, in my opinion, than definitely three of them. And the fourth one is the rawest of the guys in Lance, but I think Rosen has more pure talent for this.
And you do have an offensive line that you could say that while maybe it's not as bad as some people say, it's not particularly great in pass protection.
No,
and
it's not.
Just swapping out a quarterback isn't necessarily fixing the problem.
No.
So, Raj, I think it's a very good idea. I haven't started getting into all my mock drafts yet and how exactly I'm going to maneuver, but this is clever. I like it. In fact, I may steal this idea. I may come back to this and steal it and not credit you, because that's what I like to do. Just take Vish's ideas most of the time and repackage them as my own. No, I don't do that, Vish. I would never do that to Vish. Hold on. I think there was another question.
Yeah, it was up there. It was
Debo.
Yes.
Senor Debo. Okay. The Chiefs have been enabled last 2 years. The game confirmed they played dirty. They weren't going to let it fly with their precious TB12 and got exposed. That's like 8 levels of conspiracy theory, which is kind of I like that. But all I'm saying is, if Niners and Niner fans are complaining that they didn't get the calls and Brady gets the calls, you could have had Brady. That's how pro sports works. Yeah, Michael Jordan got the calls. Yeah, LeBron James gets the calls. You want a guy like that, because again, these refs are humans and they're in awe. They're in awe of these. They're not in awe. No one's in awe of Jimmy Garoppolo.
I'm going to be honest.
Kiara Mia.
The conspiracy aspect of this just baffles me. I thought Brady was old news. Why would the NFL want Brady to get the calls anymore? He's only there for 2 years around. They need to hype up the new golden boy, and that's Mahomes.
Good point. I don't think there was anything the refs could have done to get the Chiefs to win that game.
No.
They weren't going to win that game with that offensive line and that game plan together without any type of serious adjustment. It just wasn't going to happen. So you can blame Carl Sheffers, but I think Carl Sheffers did the best he could.
They were outcoached and outmatched on both sides of the ball, both lines of scrimmages. That's what happens.
Yeah. All right. Adam Garcia says, what do you think about this trade? Jimmy G and our 2021 third to the Patriots. Patriots send Houston their 2021 first, and we send our 2021 and 2022 first for Watson. I'd rather give up capital than players.
Wait, why would the Patriots send their first to Houston? Is Jimmy G worth a first and a third here?
Yeah. I don't think Niner fans understand that Jimmy G has no trade value. I don't think he has any trade value. Does he have trade value? It's just that he keeps getting.
I think that's one with him. And then the other thing with him is that because his contract is so team friendly, when you know that the Niners can cut him, the incentive to trade for him goes down because you feel like you might be able to get him on a new contract. So that's where I think it's a little different with him. Ultimately, I mean, if we can get Deshaun Watson for something like this, which I don't think this is that bad, then sure. Yeah, why not?
Do you buy that the Seahawks are listening to the Russell Wilson trade offers? I would be if I were them. It just seems like how many different configurations are they going to try to do with Russell Wilson before they realize that it just can't be done? I don't know. And like, how old are they going to let him get before they try something else? It's a tough one because look at Bill Belichick getting rid of Tom Brady. Now even Bill Belichick looks crazy for doing something like that. But Russell Wilson isn't Tom Brady. No one's Tom Brady. Guy's had a lot of chances to win and he hasn't gotten it done. I don't know. Would you buy it if you heard that they were? Why would they do it? You'd have to
I
listen.
I buy that other teams were calling them. I don't buy that the Seahawks were genuinely entertaining it.
They might answer the phone.
Yeah, you might answer it, but I think the big thing is I think you brought up a really great point, and that is, I'm not going to bet against Seattle, even though I'm waiting. I'm waiting with everything for the day that this thing just collapses, because I don't know how you can keep trying the same thing over and over again and have it fail in a different way every single time. Right. And that's what's happening to Seattle. I think they need something new. They need a burst of new in there, whether it's fire Pete or get rid of Russell. It's got to be something brand new.
I agree, because they've tried different offensive lines. They've tried different offensive coordinators. No, for whatever reason, the combo of Pete and Russell Wilson in his prime making money, it's not working.
It's had its day. It's at its time, and its peak after those Super Bowls was win 10 games and maybe win a playoff game. That's what it is.
The way I looked at Pete Carroll is what made him a great head coach was that he could win with a young quarterback, because he'd give him this defense and this running game and make it easy on him. But he abandoned that formula because he stuck with Russell Wilson, gave him $35 million a year, and now he just has this. He's not giving Russell Wilson much of a team anymore, and that's what he used to have. And now it's like, well, now you're just a guy who has a great quarterback and gives him a C- system, a D offensive line, a C- offensive coordinator, and say, hey, Russell, go figure it out. All right, well, imagine Russell Wilson on the Chiefs or somewhere with a little more offensive creativity. He might actually be even better. In fact, he would be. He definitely would be.